All right, guys, welcome to another exciting episode of the Left Side View with Rahul and Amitabh. This is the deadline day special. Guys, the transfer window has slammed shut. All the deals have been done, all the managerial changes, at least that was supposed to happen in the window, have been done. So I think it's just best that we dive right into it. We did talk about the deals that had taken place, I think till the 30th. So yeah, in the 2 days since then, let's see what's new. So Amitabh, I think we can begin with the Premier League.
Yes, Rahul, let's do that. And let's begin with a team that is actually in the relegation zone. I mean, at least in the relegation fight, Newcastle. The general expectation was that they will be splashing the cash, trying to get the best of the talents out there. But again, on two counts. First of all, it would not have been prudent at this point in time. And secondly, I don't think right now Newcastle are in a position to attract the kind of names that they were linked to initially. But I must say that they have made some very astute purchases. We've already talked about Trippier, Guimaraes, and Wood. On top of it, they added Dan Burn from Brighton in a 13 million pound deal yesterday, and they got over a loan deal for Aston Villa's Matt Target, who was deemed surplus to requirement with the incoming of Lucas Digne. So, yeah, they have definitely strengthened their squad, and I think most of these players, if not all five, will go right into the first team, and the performances and the results will be positively impacted. Rahul?
Exactly, I agree completely. So again, it's not just the signings that they've made, but it's the quality of the signings that they've made. Like no one will make a lot of fuss about someone like Matt Target, but then he is someone who actually upgrades their left back position. Similarly, Dan Burn, no one's going to make a lot of fuss about him, but then he's someone who comes into the side straight away and improves that side. We've already talked about, obviously, about Kieran Trippier and Chris Wood, so won't talk about them anymore. Similarly, Bruno Guimaraes, now that it is official, so yes, he also, like we mentioned earlier, his signing is the one that excites me and fans the most. So yeah, like, at least on paper, yes, Newcastle are the favorites now to avoid the drop, but like this is football, anything can happen. We've seen stranger things, so yeah, I won't say that it's just something that's done and dusted and it will not happen because again, like if they could still get relegated, then maybe that could be because maybe the players don't have enough time to gel, and that could be a part. But other than that, yes, if these players come into the side and they gel, then yes, it will be really difficult for Newcastle to be relegated. On top of that, in fact, if these players gel straight away, then it's not just about relegated. I think they could actually move their way up to the bottom half. Maybe they could even finish 13th or 14th if things go their way. But yeah, that's like the best case scenario.
Yeah, I mean, of course, nothing is done and dusted. I think one more aspect that may go against Newcastle right now is the quality of their manager. Um, he has been relegated in the past, and he has been known for his attacking, style of play, not giving due care to the defensive aspect of things. And again, it's the same if you're fighting for the top four of the championship or you are in the relegation zone. Defense becomes so crucial. And yeah, but again, the smart money will be on Newcastle avoiding the drop this season. Another team that was very active yesterday was Everton. After confirming the arrival of Frank Lampard as the new manager, they got a loan deal done for Donny van de Beek from Manchester United, and they also got Dele Alli on a free transfer initially, and there were some structured payments, bonuses based on appearances and stuff like that. So that deal could rise up to 30, 40 million pounds. And the deal is initially for 2.5 years now. Um, again, Lampard has taken a huge gamble here. Um, he's like put himself in the spot, not only in terms of the team, the squad that Everton has, but also take a responsibility of the future of one of the young players. I mean, at 25 is not so young, but he was so full of potential a couple of years back, and somehow that did not materialize. So these two deals for Everton, Rahul.
Yeah. So I like the Donny van de Beek deal. I think yeah, he needed to play regularly. It's a straight loan till the end of the season. But yes, I am a little skeptical about the Dele Alli deal. I think I mean there have been so many managers that have deemed him not good enough. Jose Mourinho, Antonio Conte, even I think Nuno before Conte didn't really play him much. So yeah, I think he's gonna have his hands full. Like Lampard's gonna have his hands full with Dele Alli. Let's see. I mean, at the same time, like with Everton and Lampard, I do expect him to use his Chelsea connections. I think we've already seen someone like Joe Edwards leave Chelsea to join Everton. Luckily, Anthony Barry decided to stay. Um, but yes, maybe not right away. Like maybe he didn't really have enough time. But yes, once the summer comes, I think he will use his Chelsea connections. Maybe sign some players who are not playing for Chelsea. Maybe he will sign those players on loan, or maybe someone who's in the academy. So yeah, I do kind of expect him to do that, like the way Southampton are doing their business right now. In a way, they've signed like three Chelsea players. So maybe I expect instead of Southampton, maybe that club to be Everton from next season onward, but at least till the time Lampard is there.
Yeah, just one more thing about deals. The fact is that both of them are not playing regularly for their respective teams. So I don't know how match fit they are right now. And if you take into account that Everton already there was no out. I mean, no player went out from the squad, and they had a lot of players in their ranks. So again, I don't know how the morale will be affected. But yeah, these two players, at least on paper, are good enough to represent Everton, and performances should improve.
I mean, yeah,
Anything else you'd like to say? Yeah.
yeah. I mean, overall, like Everton, not really a bad club, or they don't really have bad personnel, in my opinion. I mean, they've got some quality players. They've got someone like Richarlison. They've got someone like Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So yeah, if he can get a lot of these players fit and firing, then Everton are actually a top half club. That's actually what his job is right now. It's not just like about getting them out of the relegation zone. It's about just expect like the way these players look on paper. If he even gets them to play like that, then they'll be fine. But yes, we can move on from Everton. I think we can talk about Tottenham Hotspur now and then Antonio Conte. So they've actually signed two players from Juventus, Dejan Kulusevski and Rodrigo Bentancur. Again, the Italian connection that Antonio Conte and Fabio Paratici are using. So the signings, at least on paper, make a lot of sense. At least they look upgrades. Both are, I think, very young. I think Kulusevski is 21, 22. Bentancur is again 23, 24, if I'm not wrong. On top of that, the fact that we're talking about the signings that they've made, the incomings, I think we've also talk about the outgoings. So they've actually let go of four players. One, we've already talked about Dele Alli. On top of that, even someone like Giovanni Lo Celso, he's moved to Villarreal. There's someone like Ndombele, who's moved to Leon. So there's this quote that I read that they, I think, sold Ndombele to Tottenham for a certain amount. Then for a fraction of that amount, they signed Bruno Guimaraes, and then again sold Bruno Guimaraes to Newcastle for a lot more, and then again signed Ndombele to replace Bruno Guimaraes on loan. So yeah, made a lot of profit then. But yes, and Ndombele, I think there's one more player, Brian Hill. Yeah, Brian Hill has moved on loan to Valencia. So yeah, all these deadwood players that were signed by previous managers, some by Nuno, some by Mourinho. But yeah, Antonio Conte was like, I don't want these players; they're not in my plan. So yeah, I think kudos to Tottenham. I think for at least listening to, even though they didn't really sign a lot of the players that Conte wanted, they did sign two, but at least they listened to him in getting out the players that he didn't really want. Like we have been saying that someone like Dele Alli should leave, but still, that didn't really happen under Conte or Nuno or any other manager. But at least like Conte, under Conte, that happened. Yeah, it does show that he's got at least a little bit of control and leverage over the other managers. Yeah. Anything else?
Yes, Rahul. It was actually a step in the right direction for
Yeah.
Tottenham with the games in hand, and they brought in young players, and as you said, they let go of some of the deadwood. So I think with this transfer window, they are in the pole position for the fourth spot, assuming that we have the third spot tied up. Again, can never really predict these things. I think, and if you couple it with the lack of activity that someone like Arsenal or Manchester United, West Ham, all the clubs that Tottenham are in race with.
Chelsea.
So Chelsea. So yeah, so I think this is nothing short of a double bonanza for them. They've actually made intelligent purchases and young people who run fast. And I always say that speed above all. And this is the kind of play that Conte wants from his team. So yeah, great work freshening up the squad. We can also confirm a couple of deals that were talked about yesterday that happened. Eriksen to Brentford and Alvarez to Manchester City. Both the deals being confirmed yesterday. Apart from that, anything else you'd like to talk about in the Premier League, Rahul?
Yeah, Wout Weghorst confirmed to Burnley 3.5 year deal. I think it's 29. I think it's a great deal. I mean, I think we talked about this earlier as well, that we thought that how will they replace someone like Chris Wood, but then I think it's a great way to replace someone like Chris Wood. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're done with. I think we can move on from the Premier League. We can actually now talk about like Bundesliga again. Not so much. Even League One, I'm not really sure if there was anything of note, but yes, we can talk about La Liga, and we can talk about Barcelona in particular. So we already talked about them signing someone like Ferran Torres and Adama Traore, but then they've actually completed this like further reinvented in a way their forward line. So they've also signed Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang from Arsenal. Initially, I think it's still the end of the season. Maybe he's probably going to take a pay cut as well. Obviously, he was on such high wages at Arsenal, which is another reason why they wanted to get rid of him, because he was not in their plans, but he was making so much money. So they're going to save a lot of money by getting rid of him. The point is again that Arsenal didn't really sign anyone to replace him. But yeah, let's talk about Barcelona. So just imagine they've got like so many attacking players now, in my opinion. Out of which three are totally new. There's Aubameyang, there's Ferran Torres, there's Adama Traore on one side, and then on top of that, people who were already at the club, someone like Martin Braithwaite, someone like Memphis Depay, Ansu Fati. I mean, I think they've got a great attacking lineup now. Other than that, one player that did not leave them, which is Ousmane Dembele, strongly linked to Chelsea. Maybe we could still see him, but yes. So there are rumors that maybe they'll terminate his contract, or I don't know, like what they're going to do, because they've got some other issues that they need to take care of. But yeah, I think some skewed signings. Again, I'm not really sure how these signings, at least some of these signings will work in terms of squad morale. Let's say someone like Aubameyang, like if like obviously no one is doubting his ability on the pitch, but if his attitude issues continue, then yes, you don't really see him. You don't really see this deal becoming a permanent deal, is what I'm saying. Because even Javi is not really someone who's going to take any prisoners, I think. Yeah. Even he's going to be like, if it didn't work out for you with Arsenal, then if you continue or carry on with the same behavior, it's not going to work out for you at Barcelona either.
Yeah, I think as far as Aubameyang is concerned, I think it is very straightforward. He's there for 6 months, and the target is to reach the top four. He's definitely an upgrade over Luke de Jong, and I think based on his performance, both parties, especially the club, will decide whether they want to continue with him or not. And yeah, this may be the last chance for him. Again, something similar happened with him in Dortmund. He played well, but then there were issues, and that led to the transfer to Arsenal, and history has repeated itself. Let's see, but I don't think now in the next 5 months. I hope the discipline factor does not come into play, and he really plays well for them. Apart from that, yes, they have made purchases in the attacking department, but I think their issues are more severe in the midfield and the defense. They have not, sort of strengthened those areas. So let's see. It's good if you can score 5 goals, but if you concede 3 on a regular basis, again, I'm not saying they have been conceding those many goals, but you can, at the end of the day, you can only play 11, and the fact that they are in the Europa League, something that I will never tire of mentioning. So yeah, they have a good squad now. They can also rotate players and stuff like that. So again, a step in the right direction for them. Rahul?
Yeah, I think we can talk about we can move on to Serie A now. I think we've got to talk about Juventus. So obviously they've signed Dusan Vlahovic, but on top of that, even some like Dennis Zakaria is now official. They've also signed in a defender from Serie B side, Frosinone, Federico Gatti, a 23-year-old central defender. Uh, so yeah, it's a good deal, I think, because you look at someone like Chiellini, Bonucci, they're getting older. They're not really getting any younger now. So yeah, I think if he can, especially they also let go of someone like Christian Romero to Tottenham. So in a way, didn't really replace him either. I think so yeah, it's a good deal. He's going to go back to Frosinone till the end of the season and then join up with them in the summer. Other than that, like we talked about, actually let go of someone like Bentancur and Kulusevski to Tottenham. But other than that, there's another deal, another outgoing, which is Aaron Ramsey, who has left Juventus to join Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's Rangers. Yeah. So I think again, Allegri getting rid of a little bit of deadwood players. Uh, so yeah, I think it's these are some good deals in my opinion, especially like I mean, people are going to talk about Vlahovic, but I think even Zakaria uh, on a 6-7 million euros is like nothing in a way. So yeah, a great deal for them if he can hit the ground running, as you would expect him, from someone signing from the Bundesliga, which is like all about running and pressing, to a team in Serie A. Yeah, I'm not really much to talk about, I think, other than Juventus, because we did cover all the other teams like Atlanta, Inter in our previous podcast.
Yes, we
Uh,
did. So one thing that was left over from our last podcast, Rahul, the top four, Serie A.
yeah. So we'll not just like I think we can do this. So for Serie A, I think right now the top four is Inter Milan, Napoli, AC Milan, Atalanta, and Juventus. So these are the top five in a way. And when you take a look at that, Napoli, excels and Zerbi, not really much of a business. But I kind of feel like Napoli will still manage to finish in the top four because I mean,
Who drops out? Who drops out of this top five? I
so
am leaning towards Atlanta. I don't know why. And I'm
so
scared
I
that
kind of so obviously I kind of see Juventus finishing in the top four. Like there's no doubt about that. If Vlahovic hits the ground running, they're going to finish in the top four. I also want Roma to finish, but obviously I know that's not going to happen, or at least looks unlikely. So it's got to be either Milan or Napoli. It's either of these two. I don't really see Atlanta dropping out of top four. I think I just don't. They have been doing this for the past 3 seasons, finishing third. Um, they've got a good enough squad, in my opinion. And again, uh, I just don't see them. Even AC Milan, I think, because they've got no Europe. Maybe it's gonna be Napoli again, like last season, but they dropped out on the last day because they still have to play Barcelona in uh, Europa League. But then again, with Napoli, they've got someone like Osimhen who has been firing, and they're obviously gonna get back their players from African Cup nations, someone like Koulibaly. So yeah, I mean, we've talked about Napoli before that for them, it's not about the signings, it's about the balance that they have. So, like, yeah, if you ask me about any other league, I would probably be able to give you an answer. But with Syria, it is actually so different. It is actually so difficult to predict uh, because whoever it is to drop out of the top four, it'll be a surprise to me because like we talked about earlier, which there's a reason why Syria is so uh, exciting this season at least because there are so many good teams. Uh, but yeah, that's my answer right now.
So the answer is Milan or Napoli. One of them will drop
I
out.
think Napoli at this point in time. I don't, for some reason I don't see Atalanta drop out. I think they will, because for them it's always about, if we talked about them finishing or winning the league, then yes. But for them, when the target for them is finishing in the top four, they move to another gear.
Okay, point taken.
Yeah.
Point taken. I just hope it's not Milan. I think it will be Atlanta. Let's see. Let's see what happens.
Um.
Yeah.
But we can actually talk about La Liga. So Barcelona are fifth right now. So yeah, I think they're gonna finish in the top four. I don't see them staying fifth. I think, especially if let's say they lose to Napoli. If they lose to Napoli, then they'll also only have, I think, La Liga to mainly focus on. I don't. I think Barcelona signings will in a way help them. Like again, it's just about one position. So if they're fifth, they finish fourth. In a way, their target is achieved. So I do see that happening. Other than that, I think Bundesliga or League One, not really much to talk about. We've probably talked about Premier League. Tottenham are the favorites, not only because of the signings or Conte, but also because they've got games in hand. Yeah. Anything else that you want to talk about?
I think we've covered it all with respect to the transfer window. Thank you so much, guys, for your time. We'll be back with our preview episode later in this week. Thank you so much. Have a lovely rest of the week.
All right,
Bye-bye.
guys.